Everything changed the moment a single message slipped out of the shadows. Because what Micky McCoy's wife just leaked has people questioning everything they thought they knew about Erika Kirk, Charlie, and the tense months leading up to the shooting that shook their entire circle. And what's wild is, the leak didn't come from some anonymous burner page or a random Reddit thread. It came from someone inside the inner circle. Someone who was there. Someone who says Erika knew more than she ever admitted. And that her mistake wasn't a mistake at all. From the very first seconds this leak hit the internet, fans have been spiraling. Screenshots spreading like wildfire. Whisper accounts dropping voice notes. And every single one of them is pointing to the same shocking idea. Erika may have been closer to that night's chaos than anyone ever expected. Even the people defending her are struggling to explain the strange coincidence, the late-night phone calls, the sudden shifts in her behavior, and the one cryptic slip-up she made that started all of this. But the craziest part? According to Micky's wife, what the public saw was only the surface. Because she claims there were private conversations, heated ones, between Erika and the one person she should have never been talking to. Conversations that happened just days before everything went down. And the way she tells it, Erika wasn't blindsided by the events of that night. She was bracing for them. If this leak is even halfway true, the entire narrative collapses. And the question everyone is now terrified to ask is the same one you're thinking. Was Erika simply in the wrong place at the wrong time? Or was something much darker unfolding behind the scenes? Before this scandal exploded into the public eye, before Micky McCoy's wife stepped forward with the kind of information that could flip an entire community upside down, the tension between Erika Kirk and the people surrounding Charlie had already been simmering like a volcano no one wanted to admit was ready to blow. To understand how we even got here, how a polished, media-trained figure like Erika could be connected to whispers about a shooting, you have to go back into the messy, tangled history she shared with the Kirk family, Micky's circle, and the growing paranoia that crept into Charlie's life long before the tragic night ever happened. For years, Erika carefully shaped her public persona as the composed, soft-spoken wife standing beside a rising political powerhouse. But behind the cameras, behind the curated Instagram stories and carefully worded public statements, insiders say her world was far from calm. There were arguments, loud ones. There were disagreements about money, travel schedules, who could be trusted in Charlie's orbit, and which family members Erika insisted were crossing boundaries. People close to Charlie started noticing the shift. The way he would go silent during phone calls, the way his tone changed whenever Erika entered the room during meetings, and the way he seemed to be constantly managing two separate lives, one for the public and one that left him drained behind closed doors. What most people don't know is that Charlie and Micky McCoy had a history far more complicated than anyone publicly acknowledges. Micky was one of the few people Charlie trusted during his early rise. They weren't just co-workers or acquaintances. They were the kind of late-night strategists who built entire plans over takeout containers and half-finished notes. They shared secrets, frustrations, even fears. But the closer Charlie and Micky became, the more Erika felt pushed to the side. Insiders say she hated how Micky influenced Charlie. She hated how Charlie seemed more relaxed around him. She hated how decisions were suddenly made without her approval. This friction didn't stay hidden for long. According to people who were around them regularly, Erika and Micky's wife had clashed multiple times, subtle at first, then openly. It started with small comments, strange looks, awkward silences at events. But the real tension surfaced when Charlie attempted to mediate a disagreement between the two women, and instead ended up making everything worse. Micky's wife allegedly told a friend that Erika had a habit of collecting information on people she didn't trust, and that she always seemed to be listening for something, anything, that could be used later. Months before the shooting, those close to the situation recall a noticeable shift in Charlie's attitude. He wasn't sleeping. He wasn't eating. He was repeatedly telling people that he felt like he was being watched or monitored. At the time, people brushed it off as work stress or political paranoia. But according to Micky's wife, Charlie wasn't imagining it. He had confided in Micky that he believed someone close to him was feeding private conversations to an outside party, a party he refused to name. And the most disturbing part? Charlie allegedly said he had proof but couldn't confront the source yet because he was afraid of what the fallout would be. This is where Erika's name first entered the shadows of suspicion. Because around this same time, Erika reportedly started making unusual requests, asking Charlie to stop meeting Micky alone, asking him to change phone passcodes more often, asking him to forward certain emails to her personally instead of his staff. According to one insider, Erika grew increasingly obsessed with knowing where Charlie was, who he was talking to, and why certain interactions were taking longer than expected. She wasn't subtle about it either. She checked call logs, she questioned schedule changes, she confronted staff members with startling confidence, as if she already knew the answers before she asked the questions. But none of this compares to the night she allegedly slipped up. During a small gathering weeks before the shooting, Erika made a comment that instantly changed the energy of the room. Multiple people reportedly heard it, but no one understood what it meant. Until later. She said, "Some people don't realize they're being recorded until it's too late." It was said casually, almost jokingly, but the tone was sharp enough to make two of Charlie's close friends exchange looks. Micky's wife later said that this comment haunted her because she believes Erika wasn't talking about strangers. She was talking about someone in that very circle. And then things escalated. Charlie and Micky had a heated argument, something rare for them. Voices raised, chairs scraped, a door was slammed. Erika was nearby. Some insiders say she heard the entire conversation. Others claim she was the reason the fight started. Whatever happened, Charlie left that confrontation shaken, and from that point forward, his behavior became erratic. He cut communication with certain people. He canceled meetings last minute. He kept checking his phone. He seemed terrified of something he couldn't fully explain. Meanwhile, Micky's wife claims Erika began acting differently. Polite in public but cold behind the scenes, almost calculating with her words. She stopped making eye contact with Micky's wife. She avoided conversations that were once routine. And the most telling detail? She started showing up unexpectedly at places she normally had no interest in. Private briefings, side meetings, strategy discussions. It was as if she needed to know everything happening around Charlie at all times, as if she was preparing for something. But the biggest red flag, according to Micky's wife, came from a moment so small that no one noticed it until later. Erika made a phone call in another room during a family dinner night. Nothing strange on its own. But she didn't use her main phone. She used a second one she claimed was for work emergencies. Except no one had ever seen that phone before. And more importantly, she lowered her voice the moment she realized Micky's wife had walked past the doorway. She ended the call abruptly, slipped the phone into her jacket, and forced a smile as she returned to the table. Days later, everything fell apart. The shooting happened, and chaos took over. The world focused on Charlie, on the shocking details, on the nightmare unfolding in real time. But behind the scenes, Micky's wife says there were conversations, frantic, whispered, and carefully hidden from the public, that pointed to a terrifying possibility. Someone close to Charlie had known something was coming. Someone had been acting strangely. Someone had been preparing. And now, after months of silence, Micky's wife claims she has the missing pieces, the messages, the conversations, the evidence that suggests Erika wasn't just a bystander in the days leading up to the shooting. She may have been entangled in something far more complicated, far more suspicious, and far more explosive than anyone ever realized. Because once those messages leaked, the internet didn't just react, they erupted. And the deeper people dig into Erika's past behavior, the more the entire timeline starts to look like something far darker than coincidence. The real explosion began the moment the leaked messages hit the internet. Messages that Micky McCoy's wife claimed she had been holding onto for months. unsure whether releasing them would expose the truth or ignite a firestorm she could never put out. But once Erika slipped up publicly, once she said one sentence that contradicted everything she had been claiming since the shooting, Micky's wife finally decided she wasn't going to stay quiet anymore. And what she released didn't just raise questions. It ripped open a door that Erika had spent months trying to keep locked. The first message was a screenshot from just 3 days before the shooting. A message sent late at night from an unknown number to Erika's private phone, the same second phone Micky's wife saw her using. The text was chilling in its simplicity. "It has to happen soon. He's already suspicious." And beneath that, another. "Keep him calm. Don't let him switch locations." When that screenshot surfaced, fans lost their minds. The comments filled with confusion, panic, and fury. People were refreshing pages every 5 minutes, waiting for more leaks. And the more they analyzed the message, the more they noticed details Erika couldn't explain. Why the date matched the exact period Charlie told people he felt monitored. Why the unknown number had an area code connected to someone with ties to the McCoy circle. And why Erika never disclosed that she had been receiving any late-night messages at all. But the real bombshell came with the second leak. A voice note. A shaky 6-second audio clip that sounded like Erika whispering, "He brought it up again. He knows something's off. I can't hold him much longer." The voice note didn't reveal who she was talking to. It didn't reveal what she was trying to hold back. But the tone, low, panicked, and urgent, contradicted every calm, sanitized statement she had made to the public since the tragedy. And more importantly, Micky's wife claimed this voice note wasn't an isolated moment. It was just one of many. According to her, Erika had been communicating with someone Charlie didn't trust. Someone who had a reason to keep an eye on him. Someone who wanted information that only Erika could access. This is where everything took a darker, more twisted turn. Because shortly after the voice note leaked, a set of private photos surfaced. Photos taken inside Charlie and Erika's house. Specific angles of his home office, his safe, his laptop desk, and a drawer he kept locked. In the images, drawers were slightly open. Screens were slightly lit. Papers were slightly moved. It looked like someone had been checking, spying, examining. Without Charlie's knowledge, fans began comparing timestamps. They noted that these photos were taken in the late evening hours, on days Charlie wasn't home, on days Erika had been spotted alone in the house. And based on the lighting, the shadows, the reflections, the photos appeared to be taken by someone who knew exactly what they were looking for. Insiders say Charlie had confronted Erika about missing documents around that same time. He had told Micky in confidence that private notes from his office were gone, notes about future plans, meetings, and 2 names he didn't want to put in writing. He suspected someone had been inside the room while he was away, but didn't want to accuse Erika without proof. But now, those leaked photos made the situation impossible to ignore. The internet exploded with conspiracy theories. People were stitching timelines together, comparing screenshots, digging into Erika's old interviews, even pulling up old clips where she nervously laughed when asked about Charlie's work. Every move she'd made suddenly looked suspicious. Every slip of the tongue now felt incriminating. Every moment she dismissed as stress now seemed like a warning she never wanted to acknowledge. And then came the twist that no one saw coming. The twist that flipped the story from questionable to absolutely terrifying. Micky's wife released one more screenshot, but this one wasn't a message. It was a location ping. A location pinned at 10:42 p.m. on the night before the shooting. A location outside a small building on the edge of town. A building that, according to property records, belonged to a man who had been under investigation for illegal surveillance equipment. A man who, according to Micky, had approached him months earlier offering security enhancements that Micky declined. When fans zoomed in on the screenshot, they noticed something else. The contact saved in Erika's phone wasn't labeled with a name. It was labeled with a single letter. E. Not Erika. She wouldn't label herself that way. Not emergency. The number didn't match emergency services. No one knew who E was, but the timing, the location, and Erika's proximity to the ping were impossible to ignore. People started asking the questions Erika couldn't answer. Why was she there? Who was she meeting? What did she know about the surveillance guy? Why did she hide her trip from Charlie? But the online frenzy didn't stop there. As soon as the location ping spread, an anonymous account posted something even more shocking. A screenshot of what appeared to be a deleted message from Charlie, sent to Micky a week before the shooting. It read, "If anything happens to me, don't trust anyone except you, not even her." The message didn't specify who her was, but everyone drew the same conclusion. The pressure on Erika skyrocketed. Reporters camped outside her home. Former staff members began anonymously sharing stories of strange behavior. Locked drawers, private meetings, unexplained disappearances, tension-filled nights. Even family friends admitted there had been something off in the weeks leading to the tragedy. Fans dissected her interviews frame by frame, calling out micro-expressions, voice cracks, and moments where she looked to the side before answering a question. But the story's darkest moment came when a leaked call surfaced. A call Micky's wife says she recorded accidentally while cleaning her living room. The call was between Micky and Charlie, dated 2 days before the shooting. In the call, Charlie sounded exhausted, almost defeated. His voice cracked as he said, "She keeps asking questions she shouldn't be asking, and someone's feeding her information. I don't know who to trust anymore." That was the moment the internet turned. The moment the audience realized this wasn't just a simple miscommunication or a paranoid suspicion. It was a build-up, a dangerous, escalating chain of events that made Charlie feel surrounded, watched, and betrayed. And then came the twist no one expected. Because after the call leaked, another insider came forward, someone who had never spoken publicly before. Someone who claimed to have been present during a private conversation between Erika and a person whose name they refused to reveal. In this conversation, Erika allegedly said the one sentence that changed the entire narrative. "Once this is over, no one will ever question me again." The insider insists Erika wasn't angry when she said it. She was calm, controlled, as if she already knew the outcome of something no one else was prepared for. Fans froze. Comment sections went silent for hours. It was the single most chilling statement in the entire chain of leaks. But before Erika could respond, defend herself, or deny the claim, Micky's wife dropped one last twist, one that raised the stakes higher than ever. She released a screenshot of Charlie's final message to Micky, sent just hours before the shooting. It read, "You were right. It was her." No one knows what he meant. No one knows if he was referring to Erika. No one knows who told him something before he wrote that message. But the timing was undeniable. The tone was haunting. The implication was devastating. And now, the entire internet is asking the same terrifying question. What did Charlie discover in his final hours? And who was the her he was warning Micky about? The moment Charlie's final message leaked, "You were right. It was her." Everything detonated into a level of chaos nobody was prepared for. Fans weren't just confused anymore. They were terrified. Comment sections flooded with people trying to decode what Charlie meant, who he was referring to, and how Micky's wife ended up with the message in the first place. And just when people thought they had a grip on the storyline, just when everyone convinced themselves that Erika had to be the her Charlie mentioned, something happened that flipped the entire narrative again. Because late that night at 2:17 a.m., a new anonymous account appeared on Twitter, posting a single message, "You're all blaming the wrong woman." The account had 0 followers and 0 following. It had been created just minutes before posting. But the message went viral instantly. Thousands of retweets, tens of thousands of likes, people begging for details, screenshots, anything. And the anonymous account didn't stop. They posted again. The one he feared wasn't in his house. She was already inside his phone. That sentence alone shook the internet. Suddenly, theories exploded in every direction. Fans began pulling up old clips of Charlie talking about digital threats, private conversations being leaked, and someone watching. People dug into interviews where Charlie subtly hinted that someone had been tracking him through someone he trusted. But then the anonymous account posted the image that sent shockwaves across every platform. A screenshot of a contact list from Charlie's phone. 3 names were highlighted. 3 names that seemed to be under some kind of ongoing surveillance. One was someone close to him. One was someone close to Erika. And one was a name no one recognized. Fans couldn't believe it. Charlie had been monitoring someone too. But the question was why? And more importantly, who? Within minutes, rumors spread that the 3rd name in the list, the one no one recognized, was connected to an old scandal involving private investigators, secret recordings, and a feud Charlie had never publicly addressed. It was too blurry to read, but fans enhanced it, sharpened it, zoomed it. And suddenly, people were convinced the name ended with the letter A, which led to a whole new wave of accusations. But while the internet spiraled, something far more disturbing surfaced. A leaked email. This one allegedly came from Charlie's personal inbox, dated only 10 days before the shooting. The subject line? Urgent, do not ignore. The email detailed concerns about digital infiltration, a phrase that instantly triggered panic. Charlie wrote that someone had gained access to his private communication through someone extremely close to him. He mentioned that the infiltration was subtle, almost invisible, but dangerous. And the final line destroyed any doubt that he knew something was happening behind his back. She thinks I don't know, but I do. Everyone assumed he meant Erika. But then a tech expert posted a thread revealing something shocking. The email metadata didn't match Erika's digital footprint. Instead, it pointed toward a device associated with someone outside the house entirely. A separate device. A separate woman. And that's when everything turned upside down. Micky's wife posted a video, not a text leak, not a screenshot, but a video, saying that she had left out one critical detail. A detail she admitted she was afraid to reveal. She said Erika wasn't the only one acting strange. She mentioned that another woman had been coming around unexpectedly in the weeks before the shooting. A woman Charlie had cut off years prior. Someone who had been deeply involved in a private dispute Charlie wanted buried forever. Fans demanded a name. She refused. But she dropped one huge clue. She wasn't supposed to be near him again, and when she reappeared, everything changed. That one sentence sent every conspiracy theorist into overdrive. Threads exploded with speculations. People began dragging up old rumors about a former staff member who'd been let go under mysterious circumstances. Others claimed it was a media figure who'd once accused Charlie of sabotaging her career. Some even believed it was someone from Erika's past who resurfaced at the worst possible moment. But before fans could pick a direction, another leak appeared, this time from a journalist claiming to have access to audio recordings Charlie kept in a hidden folder. One of the recordings allegedly captured Erika and Charlie arguing late at night. In the leaked snippet, Charlie's voice cracked with frustration. "Why is she suddenly calling again? What did you tell her?" Erika's response was faint, but the tone was defensive. "I didn't say anything. She reached out to me." That one line changed the entire tone of the debate. Who was this woman reaching out to Erika? Why didn't Erika report it? Why did Charlie sound terrified? Theories multiplied, but things escalated further when the anonymous Twitter account posted again. She wasn't reaching out, she was warning her. Fans went berserk. Warning her about what? Why warn Erika instead of Charlie? Was Erika involved? Or was she manipulated by someone with a deeper agenda? But then came the reveal that made everything even more unsettling. The anonymous account dropped a final message. The footage exists, and it shows the truth. Attached was a blurry screenshot of what looked like security camera stills, time-stamped footage from a parking lot Charlie visited often. In the image, two figures could be seen talking near a car. One of them looked unmistakably like Erika. The other woman's face was blurred, but people swore they recognized the posture, the hair, the height. The internet exploded with theories again. One claiming it was a former TPUSA employee, another claiming it was a whistleblower Charlie silenced years ago, and some saying it was someone tied to a lawsuit no one ever publicly connected to him. And then Micky's wife finally went live. Her voice shaking, her hands trembling. She said she could no longer keep quiet. She described the woman in the footage as someone who had a long, bitter history with Charlie, someone who felt betrayed by him, someone who had warned Erika that Charlie was planning to expose her with evidence she claimed he never should have had. According to Micky's wife, this woman claimed Charlie had information that could ruin multiple lives, and that he had secretly recorded things he shouldn't have. At that moment, every rumor exploded simultaneously. People started theorizing that Charlie wasn't the victim everyone assumed. Some whispered that he had been gathering information on people he once trusted. Others claimed he was being threatened by more than one person. And then the most chaotic theory of all surfaced. Charlie wasn't afraid of one woman. He was afraid of multiple people working together. The idea of a conspiracy took over instantly. But then came the most chilling twist of all. A new message leaked. Allegedly, Charlie's final voice note, recorded the same night he sent his final text. His voice was shaky, rushed, whispering. He said, "She knows. She found out everything. If something happens to me, check her phone." He didn't mention Erika. He didn't name anyone. He didn't clarify which woman he meant. And that single piece of information ripped the entire internet apart. Because now, the timeline didn't just look suspicious. It looked like a full-blown cover-up. And no one could tell whether Erika was a pawn, a collaborator, or the target of someone else's revenge. The internet didn't just react. It erupted like a pressure cooker nobody realized had been sitting on high heat for months. The moment Charlie's alleged final voice note spread across social media, every platform went into meltdown mode. TikTok analysts, YouTube investigators, Twitter detectives, Reddit theorists. Everyone dove into the chaos at the exact same time, trying to decode who she was, what Erika knew, and how deep the secret connections truly went. And for the first time since the scandal began, the public wasn't united. The entire online world split into factions, each one absolutely convinced they had uncovered the real truth. One side claimed Erika had been manipulated by someone from Charlie's past. A shadowy figure they believed resurfaced to settle an old score. They pointed at screenshots, body language clips, and old interviews where Erika seemed nervous talking about certain women in Charlie's life. Another faction insisted Erika was hiding something monumental, something that explained the second phone, the late-night messages, the mysterious pings. And then there was a third faction, the most aggressive of them all, who believed this wasn't about one woman at all, but a group of women whose motives were darker than anyone imagined. Celebrities quickly joined the conversation, adding gasoline to the fire. A major podcast host tweeted, "This story is getting wild. If that voice note is legit, someone in that circle is lying through their teeth." A talk show personality posted a cryptic comment. "People forget what paranoia looks like. Sometimes it comes from betrayal, sometimes from guilt." And then a reality TV star, famous for stirring controversy, jumped into the storm, reposting the leak with the caption, "I've heard things about this woman before. Trust me, none of this surprises me." She didn't name Erika, but she didn't have to. Her comment section filled with people tagging Erika's account nonstop, demanding answers she couldn't give fast enough. Meanwhile, influencers started uploading 30-minute breakdown videos, dissecting the leaked messages, mapping out timelines, drawing literal diagrams showing Erika's movements in the days leading to the shooting. Some even claimed to have sources who said Erika had been acting cold and detached weeks before the tragedy. Others released exclusive interviews with alleged insiders who described the tension in the Kirk household as radioactive. Even the political world stepped into the chaos. A reporter posted, "If verified, these leaks could open an entirely new investigation." Another tweeted, "This is beyond messy. Someone close to Charlie was working with someone he feared." But it wasn't the celebrities or reporters who caused the biggest shock. It was the fans themselves. On TikTok, a viral video hit 3 million views in under a day. The creator claimed she recognized the shadowed figure in the parking lot screenshot. She insisted the woman was someone who had once had a public falling out with Charlie. She even added clips of the alleged woman crying in an old live stream, saying she felt silenced. The video triggered a frenzy. People didn't even care if it was accurate. They wanted heat. They wanted drama. They wanted a villain. Reddit became the battleground. One megathread titled "The Real Timeline" had over 20,000 comments in 48 hours. Users posted theories, charts, hidden clues, alleged sightings, and even a list of every woman who had ever worked closely with Charlie. The thread got so big, moderators had to lock it down because users began posting names of private individuals not even related to the case. But the most chaotic moment came when a major news outlet dropped an article titled, "Leaked Audio Suggests Multiple Women Involved." The headline alone sent shockwaves across the internet. People started hounding Erika's account, demanding she admit who else was involved. Some fans speculated she was covering for someone. Others accused her of trying to frame another woman to save herself. And then, in a move nobody expected, Erika turned off all her comments. That alone sparked a fresh wave of conspiracy theories. She turned them off because she's hiding something. She turned them off because she's scared. She turned them off because her lawyers told her to. She turned them off because someone threatened her. It didn't matter what the truth was. The silence became its own type of confession. Meanwhile, industry insiders began anonymously leaking even more details. One claimed Charlie had shared information with a colleague about 2 women he didn't trust. Another said he had requested additional home security weeks before the incident. Another said Erika had confronted someone privately after a meeting and told them to stay out of things that don't concern you. Each leak twisted the story further until it became nearly impossible to separate fact from rumor. News networks began hosting panels discussing the situation, despite having almost no confirmed information. One legal analyst suggested the involvement of a third woman could point to a coordinated effort. Another argued the timeline didn't add up unless Erika was hiding communication she didn't want exposed. A social behavior expert said Charlie's voice in the leaked recordings sounded like someone under psychological pressure from multiple directions. But the wildest reaction of all came when a former friend of Erika posted a 7-minute Instagram rant. She claimed Erika had once told her, "If people knew what I know about these people, they wouldn't be talking the way they do." She insisted Erika kept secrets to protect herself, and that she wasn't surprised her name was now in the middle of this mess. The rant went viral instantly. Fans clipped it, remixed it, posted it on TikTok with dramatic background music, and used it as proof Erika had been operating in murky territory long before the shooting. The pressure mounted to the point that Erika's PR team allegedly reached out to multiple outlets asking them not to run unverified claims. But the damage was already done. Every attempt to control the narrative only made people more suspicious. And once the phrase, "she knows, she found out everything," started trending, all bets were off. What shook the internet even more was the new rumor circulating that a major network had obtained unreleased footage connected to the case. They didn't confirm if it was Erika in the clip, or another woman, or even both. But the tease alone sent fans spiraling. People were no longer asking casual questions. They were demanding a full breakdown of who had access to Charlie, who had been communicating secretly, who had motive, and who had something to hide. And the craziest part? Every new reaction only muddied the water further, twisting the narrative into something bigger, darker, and messier than anyone imagined. And now the public is more divided and more obsessed than ever. Just when the internet thought it had mapped every possibility, exposed every angle, and decoded every clue, the story detonated with a twist so disturbing that it didn't just change the narrative, it reset the entire investigation. Because while fans were arguing online, while reporters were debating timelines, while celebrities were dropping cryptic reactions, someone quietly leaked something that turned the entire scandal upside down. A private, encrypted voicemail that Charlie had saved. Not in his phone, but in an external device hidden in his office. The voicemail wasn't from Erika. It wasn't from Micky's wife. It wasn't from any woman the public had speculated about for weeks. It was from someone completely unexpected. A woman who hadn't been mentioned once. A woman who hadn't posted publicly in months. A woman fans forgot even existed. And when her identity leaked, the internet froze. It was someone connected to Charlie long before Erika. Someone who had worked closely with him during a period of his life he never talked about anymore. Someone who had disappeared from the public eye after a mysterious fallout that nobody fully understood. Her voice, shaky and breathless in the voicemail, said one sentence that shattered the entire narrative. "Charlie, she knows what you did, and she's coming for you." The moment that sentence dropped, every theory people had built collapsed. This wasn't about Charlie fearing Erika. This wasn't about Erika hiding secrets. This wasn't even about the woman in the parking lot meeting. This was about something Charlie did. Something hidden, covered, buried. Something a woman knew about, and something she wasn't planning to keep quiet anymore. Within hours, the internet spiraled into chaos all over again. Reddit blew up with new timelines. TikTok creators started posting theories about what Charlie could have possibly done years ago that someone was coming for him over. Old photos resurfaced. Old interviews got clipped and re-uploaded. People dug into ancient blog posts, appearances, speeches, anything that might hint at who the mystery woman was and what she was threatening him about. But then the twist deepened. Because just as fans focused on the mysterious caller, a second leak dropped. A folder of anonymous files labeled simply, "The Real Reason." Inside were blurred documents, redacted reports, and two images that set the internet on fire. One was a photo of Charlie leaving a building late at night with someone whose face was blacked out. The other was a screenshot of an old message he had sent someone with a single line. "If this gets out, it destroys everything." People immediately connected the dots. Whatever Charlie was hiding wasn't recent. It was old. It was big. And someone, possibly more than one person, was threatening to expose it. And then came the chilling part. The new leaks didn't clear Erika. They dragged her deeper in. A time-stamped log showed Erika had accessed a file on Charlie's laptop months before the shooting. A file believed to be connected to the same incident the mystery woman referenced. The log didn't show what she opened, but it proved she had seen something. Something that terrified Charlie. Something that made Erika more than just a bystander. Suddenly, fans began asking the questions no one dared ask before. Did Erika know Charlie's secret? Was she protecting him? Or protecting herself? Was she threatened too? Or was she part of something bigger? The online debate turned vicious again. But before anyone could settle on a theory, another blow landed. This time from someone with actual credibility. A journalist revealed that, according to internal sources, law enforcement had quietly reopened one part of Charlie's old case files. Not because of Erika, but because of a woman whose name had been hidden for years. An unpublicized witness. A woman connected to him through an incident that was never publicly disclosed. The journalist claimed that she had been trying to warn Charlie for weeks before the shooting, and that Erika had allegedly spoken to her privately. That single detail changed everything. If Erika had spoken to the woman, why didn't she ever mention it? Why did she deny knowing anything? Why did she act like she was blindsided? And that's when Micky's wife reappeared and dropped the final bombshell. She posted a message saying, "There's a reason I never said the third woman's name, because the truth is worse than anything you're imagining." She then added, "I saw the messages between them. Erika wasn't the one being warned. She was the one being asked to help." The internet erupted. Screenshots flooded social media claiming to show partial messages where a woman begged Erika to convince Charlie to come clean before things went too far. Another claimed Erika had told the woman she would take care of it, although no one could confirm the authenticity. And now the theories spiraled in a completely new direction. That Erika wasn't covering up the shooting. She was covering up whatever Charlie was hiding. But before anyone could take those theories further, the biggest shock of all surfaced. A final leak, a final recording, a final twist. A recording of Charlie the night before the shooting, the same night he sent the text saying, "It was her." In the recording, Charlie whispered something that sent chills down every listener's spine. "It wasn't supposed to involve her. I tried to stop it." He didn't say who. He didn't explain what. He didn't clarify which woman. But the recording ended with the sound of footsteps, and Charlie saying the final haunting sentence, "She's here," and the audio cut. The internet exploded into panic, disbelief, and rage. Fans demanded answers. Reporters demanded statements. Creators demanded updates. But the truth? Nobody knows who she was. Not Erika, not the mystery woman, not the woman in the footage, not the woman in the voicemail. And now, the investigation is pointing in all directions at once, toward secrets buried years ago, toward conversations nobody admitted happened, toward a web of women Charlie feared for completely different reasons. This isn't the end. This is the beginning. And the real question now is the one nobody wants to ask out loud. Was the shooting connected to the drama everyone saw, or to something Charlie hid for years? The answer is coming, and it will be worse than anyone expects. So now the question becomes, what happens next? Because after everything that leaked, the messages, the anonymous pings, the secret voicemail, the unidentified woman resurfacing out of nowhere, the private calls, the encrypted files, and Charlie's final chilling words, nothing feels simple anymore. Nothing feels random, and nothing about this situation looks like a coincidence. Someone knew something. Someone warned him. Someone confronted him. And someone showed up that night. The very woman he whispered about seconds before everything went dark. But the truth isn't out yet. The real story is still buried. And the next set of leaks, the ones people are scared to release, could change everything we think we know about Erika, Charlie, Micky, the mystery woman, and the chain of events that led to that night. The only thing we know for sure is that there are details nobody is ready to face. Details that will flip this entire narrative again. Details that will expose who was involved, who was lying, and who was using who. So before you scroll, before you click away, I need to hear from you. Who do you think Charlie meant when he said, "She's here"? Was it Erika? The woman in the footage? The woman from the voicemail? Or someone nobody has identified yet? And what do you think Erika saw on that laptop that terrified her enough to hide it? Drop your theories in the comments, even the crazy ones, because this story is spiraling in directions nobody expected, and your take might be the one that cracks the case wide open. And listen, if you want part 2, the leaks people are scared to post, the details nobody wants to talk about, and the truth behind the third woman Charlie feared, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update. Because the next chapter is coming. And when it does, everything you just heard will feel like the calm before the real storm.